Hey there guys, what's going on? It's Gil right here back on the 5-9 channel. We are here to discuss something very interesting on Dokkan, of course. Recently Legends got their new Ultra Rarity, and that brought up some questions both within the community and within our group itself, whether or not there may be a potential for Dokkan to get a new rarity. Of course, with me we have Nolar. Say hello.
Hey guys, I'm here, and I got a lot of conspiracy theories on how they're gonna do this one. So buckle up, and I'm sorry in advance if I speak it into existence.
And of course we have Choco. Say hello, my G.
Hello.
Of course, if you guys do continue to like this video, hit that like button down below. Comment what do you guys think will be coming. Do you guys think we will get this new rarity potentially? Will we get potentially the live 2D art that Legends obviously just recently got and of course was existent in Buchigiri match? Now, Nolar, you said you have some conspiracy theories. Let's start off with you. What do you think of a potential new rarity in Dokkan?
All right, so let me just go from a broad perspective and then zoom in on this potential new rarity. So usually when other gacha games, of course you would know, Gale, when they introduce a new rarity for power creep's sake, for people to chase after, it's really meant to like milk the whales, as Seaton would like to call it. So there has to be a reason. Is it because they need more money? Are they not hitting top grossing anymore? Do you just want to earn more and make it really, really special? Because when LRs first came out, I want to say 1.5 years into Dokkan's life cycle, like around when Super Vegito came out, we had the LR Goku, right? The Tech Goku, who just got his EZA, I don't know, 6-8 months ago. That was very interesting because at that point, TURs weren't that commonplace, but they were starting to get to that point. And then they just introduced a new rarity, and you're like, wow, okay, we got to be chasing after this. And of course, they did the little slow rollout where they said it's free to play, farmable, and easy to access. It was a grind. I don't know if you guys were playing around that time, but Super Strike cards, int only, to fight that. And you obviously died enough, had to eat a lot of items, and there was no boosting or character drop rates or anything like that. So it was a grind, to say the least, and only open on the weekends, which sucked. But nonetheless, so if they're going to do the same model, obviously I think if they introduce a new rarity, it will be farmable. Toshi was actually part of Dokkan's development team at the time when LRs came out, so he did the whole 777 medal grind. I can't even imagine what the grind would be like if we got a new rarity. Let's call it just ultra legendary rarity. I don't know, just give whatever name and moniker you want to give it that. The thing is, eventually it'll be summonable, right? And I have a lot of theories on that. Before I jump into that, that's basically the overview I want to give on a potential new rarity. Is that they're gonna go it out slow, just like LRs were. And of course now, I mean, nowadays LRs are just a dime a dozen. Like, you're guaranteed to get one every month-ish, maybe two sometimes, like during the top legendary summons during the anniversary, right? So they're not as special anymore. Like, you could pull an LR on a banner fairly easily. So go ahead.
I was gonna just add on to that. You said pulling on a banner free very easily. They literally hand them out like candy now, especially with the guaranteed LR banners, both during anniversary and the New Year's like step up banner. So it's not holding the same pedestal it did at one point, right? Where these were the holy grail cards. These were the cards that was the end game effectively for us, right? At the time, like, you know, you'd farm these cards. Nowadays it's just like, oh, it's another one. All right, we can get him at some point very easily, no harm, no foul, you know. And especially with coins as well, it's not like they're impossible to get anymore, right? So yeah, it's just they're handing it out like candy. What about you, Choco? What do you think?
Yeah, LRs don't really feel special, only in stats and generally like, leader skills and passives. I mean, right now, I have 54 LRs and 77 Dokkan Fests. A lot of LRs are, of course, half of them are like free-to-play that I have. And you can consider a lot of Dokkan Fests free-to-play with how many redstones they've given out and, step-up banners. So, there's not that. I think in total LRs, we're like closing in on 70 now, I think.
I have
Somewhere around
77
there.
right now.
Yeah, so we're getting close to 80. We'll probably hit 80 within the next month and a half or so after the next free-to-play LR. Because they give free-to-play LRs and they give a lot of pay-to-play LRs, and they're not really special in rarity. They're not legendary rare. They're here. There's like maybe 100 Dokkan Fest and like 80 hours type thing. So yeah, they have cool stats. That's all they really have going for them to make them actually special.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, yeah, it's the closing gap between the Dokkan Fest and LRs is ever growing, purely because as well you have to remember, not only do we get a monthly LR or every one and a half month, so kind of like a 1:1 with just normal DFEs, we're also getting 4 extra LRs with the dual Dokkan Fest during Worldwide Celebration, as well as the anniversary. And oh wait, I forgot about Tanabata as well, because that's now an LR every year now, right? At one point Tanabata was just TURs, but now they've also started making them LRs since LR Gohan and Goten. So that's an extra 5 LRs every year we're getting on top of obviously what we already were getting beforehand, right?
Right.
So it's just the gap between TURs and LRs is just growing closer and closer because of the increasing amount of like distribution that they're doing for these this rarity specifically.
Yeah, with the like when you guys remember when LRs became summonable with Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, they were unfeatured. Like he was unfeatured on the banner, on a double rates banner, and it was like super hard to pull him. Go ask Goresh. Go ask a ton of people who tried to pull him. Actually, on global it was a different.
I mean,
different
yeah,
post-
the global
stat.
was the waifu banner.
Yeah,
man, that was
you summoned
awful.
on SJ for Goku and Vegeta, you get tickets, and then you spend the
That's
tickets
right.
on a banner with all the waifus and the platinum statue and Elder Kai, and then Gohan just randomly in between all of them. It was really, really unique. I really do wish they would do that once in a while, just to give it like a free chance. I don't mind it
Oh, they
because
meant, like lock it behind that kind of.
No,
don't completely lock it behind. Make him featured on a banner or something later on down the line. But like, just do a throwaway, like, okay, for a limited time only, like for like a month or two, there is this chance you could get him early on for like a month early or something, and you know we can just get it from just summoning in general. That would be super unique, and
Bro, poor
I
Truth.
like that.
5 multis for one single summon. Oh, poor guy, dude.
Yeah, that was it took a while. The cost was quite hefty though to get that summon. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So the whole point, and this is where I'm going to go into my conspiracy theory. So buckle up, boys.
All right.
Things are different now because what makes it so difficult is we have GSSRs on every banner, on a multi that is, right? So
Yep.
back then we didn't have GSSRs, so you could have 10, 12 multis in a row of dead multis with no SSRs in it at all. Having guaranteed SSRs further brings up the value of a multi. So back then in 2.5 year, whenever we got the first LRs, I went 6,000 stones on the first banner, maybe pulled 20 SSRs. Like there was a lot of dead multis on that double raids banner for me. That's why it was rough. So for me, if they're gonna add a new rarity, I mean, I personally don't want this, but what I could see them doing is they would not make it a stone summon for this new rarity unit. I can imagine they would lock it behind another like exchange currency, and this is where the gacha coins come in. Okay, and this is why once they started opening the avenues to get more gacha coins, this is where the conspiracy theories start to open up to me, because if their standard now is 50 Dragon Stones guarantees 1 SSR. If they lock it behind another currency or another conversion, then they don't have to abide by that. They can get rid of GSSRs at that point. So they could do another separate banner with gacha coins as the currency, or some exchange rate for the Z rarity coins, or whatever the case may be, and it wouldn't be a GSSR. They could put Dokkan Fest units in there. They could put legendary summon units in there. But again, it could not just be a GSSR, right? They could lock the rate to 0.1% or whatever the case may be to pull this new rarity. But the thing is, it wouldn't be behind Dragon Stones. It would be behind gacha coins. That's my conspiracy theory, where, hey, you need 10 red coins to do a multi on this new banner that doesn't even guarantee a GSSR. But if you did get a SSR, it could be a Dokkan Fest, a legendary summon, whatever the case may be, which then you could recycle for coins and go back and forth, but it's at a diminishing rate. So Yeah, I don't know. New rarities again, and this is like a year, maybe 2 years down the line. Because if they're gonna introduce a new rarity, the easiest way they could soften the blow for people is produce a free-to-play one, right? And I mean, now that we have same name update, I think we could get another Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, right? just recycle the whole concept, right? Oh, a new Super Saiyan Goku, and here, let's try this out, right? And maybe their thing is exclusively better leader skills, or you could change links. Like they could make some kind of update with version Z. I think you were going to mention this, Gale, but with version Z, they could do a ton of stuff. Update the art to Bichigiri Live 2D art in a way, kind of just like the ultra rarity for Legends, how that Goku looks fire. They could do that for Dokkan. Yeah. HD art, whatever the case may be. We're assuming that version Z is going to have a huge update because they keep talking about it or making it a forefront of a point, right? So, yeah, that's just how I think that they could introduce a new rarity and really mess with the rates. But obviously, I don't want that because that would suck, but it would make sense.
Yeah, I can kind of see it. It would be very interesting because there are, if they do the way I was thinking, which was, I mean, for the most part, maybe like you get a couple of multis you can do with just free currency, and then they introduce like paid currency like some other gachas do. Like Dragalia Lost has paid currency, Danmachi, and so on and so forth. Maybe something like that potentially, but that would be that would alienate the free-to-play player base quite a bit. So I doubt they would go to that extent. But gacha coins seem to be a very interesting concept, considering, I mean, yeah, especially because as you said, these new rarities like the LRs initially were meant for targets for whales more so, right? They weren't meant for like the average player yet.
Yep.
So considering gacha coins are effectively quote unquote useless right now for most whales because they'd always go for a rainbow or something like that immediately off rip, right? So giving them some use of gacha coins, I suppose, and making them summon more on normal banners, even though they may not have any use in the normal banners, to get gacha coins to then summon on this new rarity banner, it's a very likely possibility that would be kind of scary and would be kind of interesting to see how it would be executed, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, like you said, and like I was mentioning, I think the biggest thing they would have to do to make it special would this would have to be all done post version Z, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed.
Because right now the game's compression and how they do the artworks and everything would just not make it feel like a new rarity. And I think they need to progress to this HD/Live 2D style art to make it flush and kind of compare it to Legends, because right now if Legends keeps smashing out the Live 2D arts they are with the Ultra units, with whatever they do next, like Ultra Freeze or whatever it may be, right? Dokkan, like, we call Legends the PvP game and Dokkan the collector's game, but I'd rather collect the arts of the Legends characters than the Dokkan arts right now. It's, like, some of the Dokkan arts recently have been decent to solid, but they've not been anything like, oh my god, this is game changing or anything. They just seem like, oh, that's cool, really nice art. But Legends, you see, oh, that's really fire, I want to come back and play it, but I don't want to play the game because I don't like the game, kind of thing, right?
Yep.
So yeah, it's just, I really hope whatever they do is post version Z, and I really hope, again, I think we've said this in every video we've mentioned version Z, please make sure it's an actual big overhaul rather than just saying like, oh, we're just adding some new events for new players and some new events for
veterans,
veteran players. Yeah. So yeah, what about you, Choco? Anything you want to add?
Yeah, for how they introduce them, I don't think it'd be anything crazy or out there like paid current. I don't think paid currency will ever come to Dokkan. I think that would actually probably kill the game entirely. Like 100, I think that would actually just kill the game if they introduce paid currency and paid currency only banners. More gacha coins like affecting the game. I don't think they're gonna do much more with gacha coins. I think how they would introduce a new rarity would probably be with version Z. Probably just a basic Super Saiyan Goku, and how they could actually make them special is say Goku could have like 3 different passives you can swap in like your main menu. Like the legendary Super Saiyan Goku, Defender of Justice passive. Defender of Justice passive, he can dodge, he tanks, not the craziest damage, still really good. But then, legendary Goku passive, he'd be getting like 2 million 8 million attack stats, super effective against all types, high chance additional, stuff like that. And that's where the equips that you can swap come out. You can only swap them on the new rarity, like ZLR type thing. So you can swap it out on those LR specifically, or rarity, because if their passives are swapping, super attacks are changing, stuff like that. That's kind of how I think they would have to make them special, not just even bigger numbers.
Yeah. Versatility in gameplay is always a good point to talk about. Like when we thought equips were coming, we thought we could swap them in and out, or they would have more effects than just adding numbers to the potential system. But like, hey, you're super effective, or you're guarding, or you give key to your rotation or your team. So that's a pretty neat idea, and I think that's I would be all for that. Instead of power creep, like hard numbers keep going higher and higher, more in terms of you defining different play styles, and which for me invigorates me to go back and set up a different team, right? Because the majority of this game isn't the gameplay, it's the team compositions and the rotations and that kind of stuff. So if you're giving me another way to play the same unit multiple times over, because that's the rarity of the card, then yeah, absolutely, I'd be all in for it.
I think also another thing we have, like Choco mentioned, they kind of already do that to an extent. If you look at Videl and her passive and some other units which have like the first, second, and third attacker slot kind of thing, even the LR Prime battles have, with their EZs, have done that, right? So if they do something like that, I mean, we can already see some versatility with like, Videl and those two units, where even if you play them in like the first and second slot, there's some difference to them versus when they are in the third slot. So having that as a possibility would be amazing. I think, it kind of adds on to that whole factor, like, play in different ways. That's the main thing. That's the beauty of this game. Nobody's sitting and, like you said, bubble tapping for fun, right? It's more so just seeing how you can get the best out of a team, or in this team, maybe this first passive is good, or maybe in the second team, this passive is good, kind of thing, right? But yeah, that's a very good idea. I would be completely down for that, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, just to...
Interested if,
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say, it'd be cool, too, if they introduced, like, rainbow typing. They could fit on any team, but with the same name update now, opening teams, if they actually went back and gave a restriction, only one rainbow type unit or new rarity could be on the team at a time. So this Goku, you could put him in any super battle road, like monotyping one, to actually give, like, again, if we ever get a new rarity, please do something more than just bigger numbers.
Yep.
Let them be any typing they want. Change passive, change leader skills, anything. Make versatility in the units. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna mention that, like, changing links, right? So you could give them over in a flash, or you can give them prepare for battle. I mean, maybe not those two exact links themselves, but like giving the versatility so that your team composition, the units you want to bring, you could vary it up and then have fun with something, right? So I think the rainbow typing is a neat idea, or dual typing, right? Or even if just AGL and strength, for example, or for like Majin Vegeta, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta to Majin Vegeta, maybe they could go from super to extreme, or vice versa. I mean, kind of, it's opened up to everything, right? So whatever they want to do, I'm all for it. But yeah, like we went through the era of just bigger numbers from year 1 to the year 2, and then year 2 to 2.5, and then when we got the category meta, which we're still in, they've nicely done with it where, we haven't had a shift since then, right? We've been in the category meta for 3.5, 4 years now. So, it's just making things different is kind of what I'm personally asking for. So.
No, I 100% agree. I think that's about it from our ends. Is there any final thoughts you guys would like to add on before we wrap up, I suppose?
Yeah, just let me...
0.1%, please.
It's 0.1%.
Go ahead, Nolar.
No, the one thing I mentioned about gacha coins is just, like, with my conspiracy theory, just to fully give you guys the picture in my head, you could spend 500 red coins and get, the blue boys, right? Or you could spend 10 yellow coin or red coins and summon on this new rarity banner and still pull the blue boys there, right? So it's either that's where I was saying gacha coins would be useful. And because I already opened it up where you can trade in rainbow units for coins, well, maybe top grossing gives us coins.
Oh, I see what you mean with gacha coin banners now.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my point.
They adjust LRs. Why is LR Broly? I get he's like probably top 3 now. He should still be like 250 coins. I get now that they're using LRs, it's less incentive for them to do it, but at the same, like, bro, come on.
Yeah, I mean, at a point, it was even like, how's Tech VB and STR Rose 400 red coins? But, you know, especially once they use, I guess values will increase, but, you know.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Z could lower the prices and then do your gacha banner thing. I think that'd be a great use of coins and make it more free-to-play friendly overall.
I mean, the other thing, too, I would want to say is, like, the original STR Broly that was just on the last Same Day banner, like, he hasn't been around for, like, a year. Remove him from the pool, make him permanent as you could buy with gacha coins, right? Like, that's one way to stop diluting the pool and strengthen everyone's ability to pull. Because as a newer player, I would love to get STR Broly for like a world tournament if I was like below rank 150, but he never is on a banner anymore. So just put him in the coin shop at like 150 coins and just let me pull him or buy him whenever I can. So yeah, look, I have a lot of theories on how things would work, and you know, I played a lot of gacha games, so I know what their mentality, the developers are trying to pull as much money from you as possible, right? And this is how I think they would want to do it. So yeah. Again, I'm sorry if I speak it into existence.
I mean, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, I think a lot of our answers will probably be answered, or a lot of our questions will be answered by the time we get more information on version Z, which, I mean, we were guessing. I personally thought it would have been I thought it would have been either Goku Day or Worldwide Celebration. They're still yet to come, so we'll see around then, maybe for some news, I suppose.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all from us regarding this mini like discussion piece regarding a new rarity. Let us know down in the comment section below. What do you guys think? Again, do you guys think we'll get a new rarity once version Z comes out? Maybe earlier, maybe later? Let us know. Of course, it's been Gale, Riot, Nolar, and Troco. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.
You never see it coming.